Kia ora. Welcome back. A new report suggests the much-trumpeted Te Huia commuter train is polluting the countryside between Hamilton and Auckland more than the cars it's meant to replace.
The Waikato Chamber of Commerce study questions Te Huia's viability with current patronage, but the Transport Minister says give it time. Karen Rutherford with this update.
Te Huia's new look twice up and back service between Hamilton and Auckland had a lot of people excited when it relaunched post-lockdown. This morning's return run into Hamilton, though, had just 5 passengers, 3 of them gold card pensioners.
It works very well for me.
Good atmosphere. I like. No problem.
A new report commissioned by the Waikato Chamber of Commerce shows the train designed to get commuters off the road is, with its current patronage, no good for the environment. A ute driver travelling between Hamilton and Auckland emits 19.9 kgs of carbon dioxide. Total emissions per passenger on board Te Huia at the moment work out at around 31.5 kgs.
The report has found that if every Te Huia patron that had taken the train last year had in fact taken their own vehicle, it would have resulted in a 37% decrease in carbon dioxide emissions.
It's simply appalling. They need more people on that service to actually make it worthwhile in the ratepayer and taxpayer's mind. And if they don't, then someone's got to actually make the difficult decision to pull the pin.
COVID has not been kind to Te Huia. Forced to a lockdown standstill in August, it only relaunched last month. The report suggests it's averaging just 34 passengers each time it runs, just 136 people a day on average each weekday.
These are issues that are confronting public transport worldwide. You know, the time is not now to actually throw the toys out of the cot. We've got great support with Kiwi Rail, great support with the government.
But not from commuters, and Te Huia is projected to cost $23 million in its first 3 years, funded largely by Waka Kotahi and the Regional Council.
Whether or not they wish to invest more, good money after bad, is going to be a very political decision.
The Transport Minister says Te Huia is a signal of the government's commitment to tackling climate change. It has 5 years to prove itself, and he stresses weekend patronage is strong.
The stars aren't aligning at this point in time, but I can assure you the stars will align.
But at this stage, the universe looks likely to deliver those bums on seats only when the borders properly open and less of us work from home. Karen Rutherford, Newshub.
Hard to believe, but Te Huia, our favourite train outside Thomas, is a bit of a bust. New report tells us it's more expensive than a car, way slower, not as environmentally friendly. In fact, it's only managed to cut congestion of Auckland-bound traffic by 0.13%. Waikato Chamber of Commerce did the work. Chief Executive Don Good's with us. Don, morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Were you for it and you're now disappointed, or did you know it was a bust right from the get-go?
I always felt that it was going to struggle to be viable, but this report, I think, gives us a benchmark as to how well it's doing.
There has been a change of destination. You almost get to downtown Auckland now. Do you think that'll make a difference?
It may, but it certainly needs to ramp up its advertising to get more people on the service to make it actually environmentally and commuter train.
See, the problem that I can see here is that if you filled it every day, so environmentally that will make a difference, but the cost doesn't change and the speed doesn't change. It's still slow.
Correct.
So you need a different train. See, my original idea, I thought, that Golden Triangle thing, Hamilton, Tauranga, Auckland, if you had bullet trains, bing, bing, and it was going, if we were a 21st country, that would have been something to think about. But what they did, so in other words, it was a half-decent seed of an idea, poorly executed. Is that fair?
I think that at this stage is very fair.
So you'd want a better train, but we're not going to get one of those. What about Russ Remington? He says give it a bit of time. He's one of those give it a bit of time peoples. Is that going to change anything if we just keep it going, keep subsidising it?
It depends on how long Russ thinks is a bit of time. A year, 2 years. The government has said 5 years, and that I think is way too long if you're spending that amount of money on an annual basis. We could have used that money for ICU beds.
Yeah. If you were magic wanding it this morning and I said call it, do something with it, Don, what would you do?
that's a difficult question because the money's already been spent. I would suggest to them that they've got this year to make it happen, after which some very strong questions need to be asked. Indeed, there's elections at the end of the year. Yeah. Probably it will become an election topic.
Let's hope so, Dom. Appreciate your report. Appreciate your time.